So on November 9th last year, I wired $90,000 into my new Coinbase account. I wanted to start trading some of these cryptocurrencies. Now, my thought was I was going to put half in these bigger names, right? And then I was going to take the other half and find the crappiest coin out there. I'm talking something trading at 1/100th of a penny. And if it went to 10 cents, I would be gazillionaire. At that day, Bitcoin topped out. It was $69,000. And a few days later, we got that infrastructure bill. And inside, there were a lot of negative goodies, a lot of provisions aimed at harming the crypto investor. Bitcoin has gone straight down ever since. In fact, broke some really key support points along the way. So for me, it's fine because I haven't bought anything yet. But my next guest, it's also fine because she plans to continue to be a buyer and a holder for a very long time. Joining me now, Miss Teen Crypto host, Randi Hipper. Hey, Randi, you know, I love your tweet today. When there's blood in the street, stay zesty and buy Bitcoin. A little bit of a play on the old Warren Buffett thing. Why are you such a huge believer?
Well, Charles, first off, thank you for having me. Happy 2022. The reasons why I love Bitcoin are just so long. The list is so long. But firstly, Bitcoin is peer-to-peer payments. It's a global payment system. And lastly, it's digital. A lot of things in our lives are digital as it is. It only makes sense for our money to be digital as well.
You know, I think, though, crypto evangelists, and I've been looking hard trying to find them, and I'm lucky to have found you, are all underestimating how governments around the world are desperately trying to derail this movement. Are you worried at all?
I'm not worried at all because, listen, there are governments that do not like Bitcoin, but there are other governments that are spearheading this revolution, like El Salvador, having their country use Bitcoin as legal tender. I just hope that other countries will follow suit soon.
Yeah, but they got to protect their fiat currency. I mean, the U.S. America stays on top in part because we're the world's reserve currency, the dollar bill, the strong greenback. You know, they're going to do everything. They're going to say one thing, but they're going to do everything possible to make sure they never get any competition, real competition from Bitcoin.
Well, Bitcoin is, you know, censorship resistant money. There is no stopping Bitcoin. There is no stopping the blockchain. Bitcoin is inevitable.
Last week, Shimon Palapathiya said that Visa and MasterCard were going to be big-time losers this week. He says short the heck out of them because Web3 based projects with these altcoins were going to destroy them. Is that aggressive? I know that I looked at one of your more recent podcasts and you talked about these altcoins. Is that possible? They can derail these two giants this year alone?
This year, I still feel like crypto is very early in general. So Visa and MasterCard, they still have a lot of time to incorporate crypto into their platforms because people like what's familiar. People like the fact that you could tap and pay with crypto on your debit card. But I do see Web3 taking a big chunk of their market cap this year.
I want to shift gears, if you don't mind, because you are a teen. And, you know, this has been a tough period for teenagers the last couple of years. Right now in Chicago, in fact, a lot of kids are not in school because the unions don't want to go to work. You know, how do you feel with respect to the older generation out there? And, you know, I always feel like one of the reasons Gen Z is attracted to cryptocurrency is that you don't trust the system, and not just the financial system, but a lot of these systems that you're going to inherit.
Well, I don't feel as though the older generation necessarily let us down. I do feel like there's still improvement that can be made. You know, speaking from a sister that has a 16-year-old junior in high school, there's a lot of obstacles with going to school lately. And, you know, there's a lack of stability here. So I think that if we're able to get into school and, you know, have more stability in terms of being able to go and the strict curriculum and going in order of things, I feel like we could improve. There's still time to improve, but there's a lot of obstacles for us out there.
But I find that Gen Zers are more optimistic in general than millennials. What's the reason for that?
Gen Z is very optimistic because we see the realm of possibilities out there. With our phones, there's so much we can do. There's businesses that we can make straight from home. I think that, you know, schools being closed and everything, it could push us to look at other things. But of course, a lot of kids are still looking to go to school. A lot of kids I know still really want to go to in-person classes and see their friends and socialize. Yeah,
and there's no doubt about it. Well, you're fantastic, Randi. Thank you very much, and we'll talk again soon. You got to tweet me and let me know what to buy on this dip. But we'll talk about that later offline. All right.
Of course.